Welcome to 3D Amazon FBA. Today I just want to kind of talk about the year I had, like both for Amazon and personally. Um, Excuse me, I got kind of a sore throat. But in retrospect, thinking about 2019, I can honestly say I think this year was probably the best year I've had, like pretty much of my whole life. If not, it's one of the best years I've ever had. Personally, I have custody of my two kids, and we had an amazing year this year. We did just so many different really cool things, and things I never thought we would really be able to do. Because just being a single dad and having to deal with the mom and all the stuff that goes along with that. So it took a lot of work to work out like some issues me and her had to so I can like do stuff with the kids. So like this year we went to a retro gaming convention in LA. We did the LA Comic Con. We spent a week in Arizona. Like we did all kinds of stuff in Phoenix. We went to the Grand Canyon. We visited my aunt. We spent a week in San Antonio, and we did pretty much all the cool stuff San Antonio has to offer. Like we did SeaWorld, the zoo, an aquarium. They do have like a Legoland Discovery Center. They have a couple other things for kids. We went to was it a Japanese garden? We just did all kinds of stuff in San Antonio. We didn't stop being tourists, of course. The Alamo and all of that. So we were like straight tourists for 12 hours a day for like 5 days. And we had so much fun doing that. We go to the movies all the time. We got season passes to SeaWorld. We've been to SeaWorld a couple times. We have annual passes to Knott's Berry Farm. We went probably 10 times this year. That's what I can think of off the top of my head. But, we did just so much stuff. We took probably about a full month of vacations and trips, through the year. And honestly, I couldn't have done it without Amazon. If I was working a regular 9-to-5 job, you just can't take vacations all the time like that. So it was really cool. Plus I went and I flew and visited my son for 3 years. I hadn't been to New England. Oh man, it's been probably about at least 10 years since the last time I flew up to see him. He comes here every year to see me. Well, he didn't this year. He's grown now. He'll be 19 in a month. So this year he didn't come see me because he's got a job and stuff like that. But I flew back there, and even like I went to several concerts. Like I went and saw Smashing Pumpkins with him. We saw Blue Man Group, and we saw Alanis Morissette. I took my kids to see Ben Folds and Cake down in L.A. I went to my first Oakland A's game. I went to a game in Anaheim, baseball game. So it's been just so much fun this year. And from a professional standpoint, this year I've made more money than I've probably ever made. I could say I probably worked more hours than I've ever worked before at times, especially the last 3 months because I was hustling. But, I probably made more money this year. I've learned so much about Amazon. I've got my system down. I have like hundreds of replenishable items that I just restock constantly, which actually simplifies my business. I invested in my business quite a bit. I got the whole shelving unit. I did a video, my little office setup. I got another printer, full-size scale. I got a new laptop earlier this year. I was going through, and I think I invested about $2,000 in stuff for the business. So that was great. My kids, they have the best grades they've ever had. Like this year. Well, I take that back. Dylan, my middle child, he's going to be 10 in March. He had better grades first trimester last year, but his grades have improved from most of his scholastic career, so that's a huge win also. So I'm real proud of him. Actually, both my kids have really come into their own this year. They're starting to develop like hardworking and stuff like that. They're really good kids. I'm so proud of both of them. But they really grew up a lot this year, which is great. It makes me really feel happy and proud of my kids. So this year's been great. And back on the Amazon front, I was like in January of 2019, I think I did like $16,000 in sales. And this month I'm going to probably do about 40. Let me see. I'm at 45,860 this month. So maybe we'll hit about 46,500. Yeah, because I'm like running out of everything, and UPS I guess because of Christmas is really slow. So that's really hindered my weekend quite a bit, actually, because I think I have about 3,000 pieces that should have been delivered on Friday, and it was delayed. So it's like, oh my goodness, I'm like running out of stock on everything. Excuse me. But I did take a pretty big risk. I took out like a huge Amazon lending loan, and I was able to use that to grow my business a lot, obviously, because I think I more than doubled my monthly sales once I took out that loan. So, I am still paying that off, but actually this month I paid off 20% of it. So the loan I got was $50,000 as of November, and I'm already paid down to 39,000 something. So I'm already paying that off. So I'm hoping to get that paid off by the middle of or like May, because I'm going to really be working hard to pay that off. And on top of all of this stuff, going back to the vacations, I'm just kind of rambling. Yesterday I planned a 3-day vacation in Oakland. I'm a huge Oakland A's fan. I have been for the last 30 years. And they do a free event called FanFest. And so I just paid for a hotel up in Oakland. So me and my kids are going to go to FanFest this year for the first time. They've never been that far north. And I'm going to see what else, other cool stuff we can do while we're up there. And I also have already paid for my vacation. I'm taking my kids to Disney World in June. I'm super excited. I've already paid for my airfare. I've already paid for the tickets to Disney World. So it's going to be great. This is a goal I set for myself about a year ago, that I really want to take my kids to Disney World. And it's being realized, and I'm really excited about it. And my kids don't know. They just know I'm planning a cool vacation. I didn't tell them where because I hadn't paid for it yet. So I'm like super stoked. So like everything I wanted to do this year is really coming true. And I'm like really proud of my kids. And I'm really proud of like everything I've been able to do. And I'm also really happy that I'm like slowly growing the YouTube channel. I think I'm really helping people, and because I know I do stuff differently than what other YouTubers show and what other people do, and I want to share that with people. And I think I am slowly. More people are following the channel. I get like 1 or 2 subscribers a day, and I'm just glad to be able to help everybody. So now that I've kind of rambled on about like things that I've done this year, I'm going to show you guys some numbers, and you'll kind of see like how I did. My profit margins aren't as good as they should have been, but I invested a lot in my business, and that's all business expenses. So I actually did the math, and actually I think the money I invested in the business actually dropped me like 3 or 4%. As far as profit margin, because I think there's about a $3,000 swing between everything. I think that's what it came out to be. So I'll be right back, and I'll show you guys my numbers. All right, I'm back, and this is my year-to-date profit and loss statement through Inventory Lab. So there are people that ask, do you use QuickBooks or anything like that? And I don't use QuickBooks. I just use Inventory Lab, and you can see I have every expense written down here. So, I don't think you need QuickBooks. Inventory Lab does everything I need it to do to keep track of my expenses for taxes. So with that being said, whenever I started 2019, my goal was to do $300,000 in sales. and it was something I really set out to do, and I crushed it. Once this updates, and today happens and tomorrow happens, I'll be over $320,000 in sales. So I'm really proud to have put in that work to reach the goal. I did take out that loan, which is probably the only reason why I was able to do it. But just saying where I was at from January, February, where I did a combined $28,400 to where I am now doing $47,000 in December. I'm really proud of that. So one area that really kind of hurt was the refunds, and refunds happen. There's really nothing you can do about it. And a lot of the dollar amount comes from shoes. In 2020, I'm going to cut back on the amount of shoes that I sell. And, I would go to like the Nike outlet, and here locally, they cut the tops off the boxes. And a lot of those shoes that would sell, because I'd put them in generic shoe boxes, would get returned. And I presume it's because they were in generic boxes, because, I was selling some $100 Nikes and they're in generic boxes. And, that probably wasn't a good idea in retrospect. So I'm going to cut back on that. And a major goal of mine is to cut back on refunds, because you can see, $15,000 in refunds really kind of hinders your ability to grow a bit. So I want to cut back on this number here a lot next year. So reimbursements, that's like stuff that's lost, damaged. Sometimes they'll give you for customer returns. So Amazon, for product that was damaged once they received it or lost or whatever happened, I got $4,500 in reimbursements from Amazon this year. It really should have been more, but Amazon denied a few of my claims, the stuff they lost as part of the shipment, which was really disappointing. But there's really nothing you can do about it. Just shrug it off and worry about what you control, is what I do, and keep on moving. So coming down here, cost of goods sold was $115,000 I spent, and almost all of this is RA, except for a few things I bought here and there online in my one wholesale account. So almost all of this was RA. So that was a lot of shopping, believe me, a lot of work. But I wouldn't change a thing. So what I want to show you guys is mainly down here, other expenses. I want to show you guys like stuff I spent my money on through the year. Like for boxes, this is just boxes I bought primarily from Lowe's. I spent $908 just on boxes to ship to Amazon. This is another expense I'm wanting to cut back on in 2020. Those of you who've been watching my channel, or maybe that are on my Facebook page, I told everybody when Tactical Arbitrage was running a promo for Black Friday. So, I bought Tactical Arbitrage, on Black Friday, and one of the main reasons was to help me cut back on here, because of course, when you're shopping online, I'm not driving as much, but I'll be getting shipping boxes as I'm purchasing online, and that should drop my expenses in this column here for shipping boxes quite a bit as I'm shopping more and more online. So that's one thing I'm trying to cut back on in 2020. Bubble wrap. I actually bought bubble wrap in bulk from Uline, and as you can see, I haven't spent any money, and I've used up about half of it. I think I had bought 3,000 or 4,000 feet worth of bubble wrap, and I've used about half, because I do sell quite a bit of glass products that I wasn't selling early on next year. So, bubble wrap, that expense might actually go up next year, but not too much, I hope. So, credit card interest is another thing you can write off. So my Capital One card, I paid $578 in interest. That card's actually paid off in full right now, so I'm not paying any interest.
and I use it as cashback rewards, and I'm getting 100 to $200 a month in cashback rewards on this card now. I did the math. I think I actually came up almost between like $350 and $400 this year. So I've gotten roughly $1,000 in rewards, cash rewards on this card, but my expenses are my interest was $577. So that won't even show up on here because that's not like a taxable income. So I did come up about $400 on this video. On this line here. And then I have my Chase card, which is also paid off in full now, was $1,200 in interest, but I'm really happy to have that paid off. So this Kogan Family Enterprises, I have a VA that does all my claims with Amazon, like the lost, damaged, returned product that I got reimbursed for. I outsourced that, and it cost me $59 a month. They do a really good job. They even email me once a month, letting me know what they've been doing and things like that. So that's actually really cool. And I'm grateful to have that service, even though it's kind of expensive, $708 on the year, but it's worth it. It saves me hours and hours of time that I just simply don't have. Let me scroll up. Labels, another thing. This expense probably will go up next year because toward the beginning of the year, toys and things like that weren't things that I had to label. That's been within the last year. So this expense might actually go up next year. Inventory lab, poly bags. I use a ton of poly bags. I actually changed how I buy them. Before I was buying 400 bags, 100 of 4 different sizes for I think about $25. So now what I do is I just buy 1,000 bags of one size, and I just use that for everything. And I think that's going to actually save me money through the year. My internet, stuff like that. I had $2,000 in damaged product that I took back out of the warehouse that was unsellable or damaged for whatever reasons. This is just something that is part of having your own retail business. It kind of sucks, but what can you do? Let me see. Shoe boxes. I didn't spend a whole lot of money here, but it's another expense I'm not going to have as much of next year because I'm going to cut back on the generic boxes. I'll probably only use those for the Skechers outlet because I haven't seen too many returns from Skechers, and I don't think people really, collect Skechers and want the boxes and things like that. So here's the interest from my Amazon loan. As you can see, having a big loan like that is very expensive, but I more than doubled my sales having it. So I earned way more money than I would have than I'm paying in interest. So, and of course, this number is starting to drop because I've already paid off 20% of the loan, including this interest payment right here. So I'm hoping to get that paid off by May, like I had said before. So this is stuff that I actually bought that is a tax write-off that I'm not going to be buying next year. And, my laptop was $740. So that I'm not going to buy next year unless this one goes out on me. And I really hope it doesn't. It's a good laptop. So, that's one expense I won't have next year. I rented a truck because I had so much stuff on this day, and I just didn't have time to make multiple trips. So I just rented a truck for $20. So no big deal. My tape expense is probably going to go up because I'm selling so much more than I sold through most of last year. So this expense is probably going to go up quite a bit because I'll go through a roll of tape like once a week now. So, I bought another printer, my scale. I bought a whole shelving unit that I put in my video that I mentioned before. I bought another Dymo label printer, a portable cell phone charger, product scanner. It's been so busy lately. I've been just paying UPS to do pickups. I'm hoping to not do that next year. So and then here was tactical arbitrage, $672. So you can see I did spend a lot of money all in this area here that I'm probably not going to spend next year. So my margins should go up, and I did do the math. My margins would have been, I think, it was about 17 to 18%, like 17.5% profit margin without those expenses. And with those expenses, I'm at 14%, which is like you don't want to be that low, to be perfectly honest. But this year was a year of investment and a year of growth. And, I took some risks like with the Amazon loan and things like that, because I really knew I could, build my business high. And, I just didn't have the capital and things like that. So I did I did the loan. I don't regret it, even though it's a lot of money and it was extremely nerve wracking and put like a lot of stress on me. But I did it because I had faith in myself, and I had faith in the system that I've come up with doing the RA and doing the replens and things like that. And so this year in 2020, excuse me, I want this to go to 17, 18%. And I have a lot of faith that it will, because I'm going to pay off my loan early. I'm starting to save money in different areas, and all this stuff is already paid for, so I don't have to pay for it again. Except I'll probably buy tactical arbitrage again on Black Friday next year, just like I did this year, because it's a lot cheaper to do the year instead of month to month. So, so yeah, this was the year. My net profit was $43,789, and it was a lot of work. I don't want anybody to think, that I kind of sat at home and just, did online arbitrage and had the stuff sent here, or anything like that. It was a lot of work. For most of the year, I was doing like 30 hours a week. But the last 3 months, where a third of my year-to-date sales came from, so these 3 months, I've been working 50, 60 hours a week in order to reach this, because almost all of it is RA. Well, I'd say all, but maybe $500 of this was RA. And even when I go pick up my wholesale products, I drive to LA and bring it back here, and that's a good full day. I'll usually shop while I'm there too. So it is a lot of work. So don't think this is like a quick get rich quick scheme, or this is a really easy $43,000 I made this year. It was a lot of work, and but I wouldn't change it. I would rather work 12 hours a day every day of the week to do the Amazon thing than work a regular 9-to-5 job. But now that I'm kind of doing more tactical arbitrage, I am hopefully going to do less retail arbitrage, because this winter was exhausting, to be perfectly honest. So I hope you guys liked the video. You got some value from it. You kind of see like where my business is, and I'm just really excited about the year I had. I'm super excited about 2020. 2020, I think, is going to be just amazing. I hope you guys watch the channel regularly. I want to share my journey with you guys, and I want to teach you guys cool stuff along the way. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you guys can like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. It really helps me out. Feel free to leave some comments. Tell me about you guys' wins and just cool stuff you did this year. If you want to, I'd really appreciate it. I like to hear about you guys as well. Thanks for watching.